Hey friends, it's Melissa here with Team Snuggle, and you know I love a good comparison video. And today we are diving into the Cybex infant car seat lineup. We are going to be doing a full review and comparison of the Cybex Aton 2 infant car seat with SensorSafe, the Aton G Swivel infant car seat with SensorSafe, and the Cloud G Lux infant car seat with SensorSafe. We are going to be doing a full product review, showing you an install, and then at the very end of this video, we're going to bring it all back here to talk about what are the key similarities and differences between these seats so that you can make the best decision for your family. Now, before we get into an individual review of each of these seats, let me just call out the core kind of stats and the main differences between each one. So each of these seats can accommodate a child from 4 to 35 pounds. Now, the Aton 2 can accommodate a child up to 30 inches tall, whereas the Aton G Swivel and the Cloud G Lux can accommodate a child up to 32 inches tall. In terms of seat weight, so your Aton 2 bucket weighs 9.5 pounds, your Aton G Swivel bucket weighs 9 pounds, and your Cloud G Lux bucket weighs 12 pounds. Let's talk about kind of the basic kind of core features of each seat. So your Aton 2, right now we have this with the, I'm gonna say the introductory version. We're gonna link using the XXL canopy version because the canopy is just bigger and you know I love a big canopy. But this is your first tier of Cybex infant car seats. So you're getting a lot of that robust technology, the safety features and everything. But the Aton G Swivel and the Cloud G Lux have enhancements that have been layered into the seat. So the Aton G Swivel, obviously it's in the name. So with the Aton G Swivel, the big difference here is that you have a seat that actually swivels on the base. We're gonna give you a better view of this in a moment, but it swivels an entire 180 degrees so you can access the seat from either side of the vehicle. That's kind of the main call out difference of this seat. The Cloud G Lux has its own unique feature. So while it doesn't have that swiveling base, what it does have is the ability to actually recline and lounge when off the base, which is a really nice option if you're using this seat on a stroller or if you just have your child in the seat kind of on the ground for a little bit. This lounge really helps to just extend their torso and leg room. So those are the core differences between the Aton 2, your kind of initial seat, your Aton G Swivel, which is a swivel seat, and your Cloud G Lux, which has that extension. Now, let's dive into each individual seat. So kicking things off with the Cybex Aton 2 infant car seat. Now, I have the model that isn't the extended sun canopy, but let's pretend I have the model that is the extended sun canopy. The only difference is that the canopy goes about this much further, and I'm all for a big canopy. Now, everything else about the seat is the same. So let's chat about some of the key stats for this seat. Weight, 4 to 35 pounds. In the bucket itself weighs 9.5 pounds. It can accommodate a child up to 30 inches tall. Now, this seat does have a load leg in the base, which I'll show you in a second. When we get into the actual bucket of the seat, so you've got a handlebar, which can obviously be adjusted into multiple positions. You have a nice infant insert, which can be removed as your little one grows. We've got our padded harness covers here. We've got our SensorSafe technology built into the chest clip. Stay tuned later in this video. We're actually going to do a full review of the SensorSafe technology and chat a bit more in depth about it. Within the seat itself, you have a rethread harness. So as your little one grows, you just rethread the harness straps through the higher positions to accommodate that higher height. For your little one in their infant car seat, you always want the harness height to be at or below their shoulders. Just below is perfect. Now let's take the seat off the base for a second. With this seat, you do have linear side impact protection, which actually, face properly there, which actually helps to absorb up to 25% of an impact in a side collision. So that is a really great safety feature, and it is overall an energy absorbing shell. Let's talk about the base. So this base has a bubble level indicator, which you can see here to ensure that you're getting that proper angle for your little one. It also indicates what angle your seat should be at based on their weight, which is a really great indicator for parents. Now you do have that angle adjustment in the base as well, which can be adjusted to get that perfect angle in your vehicle. With the install methods of this seat, you have a soft latch install, which you can kind of see poking out the sides here. You also can install using your vehicle seat belt or the European belt path. The European belt path is when you are installing the bucket without the base. I mentioned that we have a load leg. Load legs are one of my favorite safety features because they really help to reduce rotational forces in the event of a collision. Now, let's get this base installed on our seat. Okay, so when we are installing the seat, we're gonna do a latch install today. The vehicle seatbelt install is very similar. One of the really cool things is they actually have this instruction right on the base of the seat as to how to install it. So that just makes your life a lot easier as you go. When you're installing, you always want to pull your load leg out first. I can't tell you the number of installs that I've done where I forgot to pull out the load leg, had to completely uninstall to get the load leg out and redo. So load leg out. Now to release your latches on the Aton 2, you're going to want to have your seat in the most inclined position so that you can unclip the latches from the base. Next up, you're going to open up your panel. So we are basically set up now for an install. We want to get that proper angle in for our vehicle seats. Then you're just going to clip your soft latches into the lower anchors of your vehicle. There we go. And you want to just try to make sure that you're getting a secure fit with the back of the vehicle. So just make sure that you're flush there. Then you will slowly start to kind of remove all of that excess slack from the seat. You don't need to go crazy with it, but you don't want to have any twists and turns or significantly loose seat or belt under there. Once you're tightened up and ready to go, you're just going to close this door. Then you don't want your base to move more than 1 inch from side to side or back and forth. So we have a good position here. Next up, you'll want to take your load leg, pull it down so that it's flush with the base of your vehicle. When you're installing using a load leg and doing an install in general, always check with your car seat manual and your vehicle manual because some vehicles actually can't take a load leg. So that's always something to be mindful of when installing your car seat. So at this stage, we're ready to go. We just pop our bucket on with our little one in the seat. And you are ready to hit the road with your Cybex Aton 2 infant car seat. Now let's talk about the Cybex Aton G Swivel infant car seat. So the seat can accommodate a child from 4 to 35 pounds or up to 32 inches tall. The bucket itself weighs 9 pounds, and obviously you're here to see the swivel. So let's showcase how the swivel works. Basically, you've got these two gray tabs on both sides of the base. When you want to swivel the seat, it swivels 180 degrees, so you can face one direction or swivel it to face the other direction. While we very commonly nowadays see a swivel seat for an older toddler seat, like a convertible or an all-in-one seat, the nice thing about having it for an infant seat is that if you do need to stop your vehicle to tend to baby, you can easily kind of address them from the side. Or let's say you're loading your car seat in and out of the vehicle, you can just, if it's easier for you to just load it in like this versus kind of twisting around to load the seat, really great options just to give parents some additional flexibility. Now, one of the things with the swivel is that you will always feel it lock into place. You can never drive with your seat in a swivel position. Don't be crazy. But you will feel it lock into place. That is how you know you're in a good position for driving. Now, Let's take the seat off the base for a minute and showcase some of the other amazing features. So we've got another great handlebar here that can be reversed into a full recline position. So this is sometimes called, you know, like the first position because it's most reclined. And this is always nice for stabilizing a bucket as you're loading your child, because when you have the handlebar up a bit and you're trying to load your baby, the bucket can rock like this. So when you have your handlebar in that lowered position, you just get a little bit more stability for loading your little one. You have a nice full coverage canopy on your Cybex Aton G swivel seat. You have your SensorSafe technology built into your harness clip. And one of the things that I will show you is you have a really nice no rethread harness with this seat. So you actually have 11 different headrest height positions. So I've just loosened my harness to give us some room to grow. Behind your headrest here, there's a little tab that you're just gonna pull up on. See this little tab here? So you just reach in behind, pull up, and you're automatically getting that height adjustment with your no rethread harness. As your little one grows, you've also got these infant inserts, which can be removed. We already mentioned the SensorSafe built into the chest clip, which we'll do a full review on later. I also really like how with the crotch buckle here, they kind of have a smart buckle system that has the crotch component kind of pop closer to the seat, so that as you're loading your child in and out, it's not as commonly getting caught up behind them. And then you're having to, you know, reach around your babe and find that crotch buckle. It has this natural state of kind of being in this popped out position. So you load your baby on top. Really like the nice plush fabrics on the inside of the seat, on the outside of the seat, and built into the frame. You've got energy absorbing technology, linear side impact protection. And one of the really cool features about this seat bucket in particular is that you actually have ventilation built throughout the bucket. So if I kind of reach in behind here, you can see right behind the seat fabrics, there's this ventilation panel, which just helps to really maximize airflow to your little one as you're in the vehicle. Now, let's pop on over to the base. So you can see with this base, we have an anti-rebound panel, which is going to help reduce rotation in the event of a collision. We don't have a load leg on this base as we have with the Aton 2 or the Cloud G Lux bases. You do have some enhancements to this base, which I really like. So you have a nice glide recline adjustment that helps you get that proper angle in your vehicle. You've also got these bubble level indicators that are just a little bit more fancy, again, showcasing the weight of the recline position of your child based on their weight. When you are doing an install of this seat, you can install using the soft latches, your vehicle seat belt with the base, or if you want to do a baseless install, you can use that European belt path with just the bucket. Let's pop on over to our vehicle seat and show you an install with the latches. As I mentioned with the Aton 2, again, Cybex has done a great job. I mean, in addition, you always want to check your car seat manual and your vehicle manual, but they do have some pretty great instructions on the base itself for doing your install. So first, what we're going to do to access our latches and our installation panel is we're going to recline the seat, and we actually have to rotate the base in order to get access to this panel. Now I'm just going to release the latches from the sides of the seat here. Giving myself some extra slack in the process. Now we'll want to open this secure lock door. This is kind of our belt tensioning door. So again, we just want to get that seat in a proper placement against the back of our vehicle seat. So you want that anti-rebound panel to be nice and flush. Then I'm going to pop my soft latches into the lower anchors of my vehicle. Then we will just tighten up, removing any excess slack, doing a double check to make sure that there's no twists and turns. I do find actually when you are tightening this, pulling the excess through this interior panel here helps you get just a bit of a tighter fit. And you can pull it back out. Now we're going to just close our secure lock door, making sure that we have a nice install, no more than 1 inch of movement from side to side. We'll get our base back pivoted, rotated into position, adjust our recline angle as needed. And then once we are good to go, I mean, actually let's adjust so that we can put baby in this way. Put our baby in the seat and then adjust our little one, and we are ready to head on our next adventure with the Cybex Aton G 180-degree swivel with SensorSafe technology. And here we have the Cybex Cloud G Lux infant car seat. I don't know which one my favorite would be, but I really do love these safety features that are built into the Cloud G Lux. And I gotta say, not everyone is for the lounge function, but I love the lounge function of this seat. So, top line specs. Seat can accommodate a child from 4 to 35 pounds or up to 32 inches tall. The bucket itself weighs 12 pounds because you do have some enhanced features built into that. I don't find that I notice the 3-pound weight difference too much, but it definitely is a little bit heavier. We'll take a look at the base in a second. We've got our same handlebar that we had on the Aton G swivel, so just putting it in this kind of first position to stabilize the seat. Nice full coverage canopy, ventilation built in through the back of this seat, which is really nice. And within the interior, you can see we've got that SensorSafe technology built into our chest clip. We have our removable infant inserts. We also have that same easy in crotch buckle, which again just helps your crotch buckle kind of pop closer to the seat so that it's not getting caught up behind your baby as you're loading them in. We have a no rethread harness again with this seat, 12 different headrest height positions here. So I've just loosened my harness to give myself some extra slack. And as you can see, we get nice full range of motion with that headrest. At the back of the seat here, you can see that ventilation, those ventilation panels just kind of built in. I don't know if you're going to be able to see it from there, but I can see it with my little eyes. Okay, so from the side of this seat, you again have an energy absorbing shell. You've got linear side impact protection. And I mean, of course, I've talked to you about the lounge function of the bucket. So let's take a look at what that is. So this is your bucket in its standard position for basically all seats. If you are, once you have this seat loaded on a stroller and you're using it as a travel system, or let's say you've got the seat, on the ground beside you for a little bit, you're grabbing lunch or something. If you pull this lever just on the back of the seat, it will help you to extend or allow you to extend that torso and leg room to give your child up to 45% more extension in the seat. That just helps them be that much more comfortable, sprawling out, having a little spa day in their little infant car seat. I love this function. I think it is so cool. And if you are running about with your little one for the day, doing errands here, there, and everywhere, it's just nice to give them a little bit of extra range of motion so that they're not so scrunched up. So when you put the seat back on the base, you will have to put it in the upright position. So you aren't able to drive in the lounge position, and it won't even load into the base in that position. So good to go there. Now let's take a look at our base on this seat, because I love a good base. I feel like this is probably the most fully loaded of the bases that we're reviewing today. So we have an anti-rebound panel, which is going to help reduce rotational forces in the event of a collision. We also have a load leg, which is also going to help reduce rotational forces in the event of a collision. We also have rigid latch. Rigid latch is your most secure form of installation into your vehicle because you're getting that steel on steel strength. Let's take a quick look at this install because, Cybex heralds it as a 5-second install. So as we are loading our seat onto the back of our vehicle, a couple things that we'll want to do. This pull helps you to adjust your recline position of the seat. So we're making those adjustments from the top and the bottom. There's a bottom pull as well to help give you more control. You do have these bubble level indicators on the side to ensure that you're getting that proper angle adjustment. Next up, we're going to extend our rigid latches. Oh, before I forget, we do already have our load leg out, but again, if your load leg is tucked underneath the seat, always make sure that you are extending it before you install the seat. So for our rigid latches, you're just going to push down and in to extend them, clip into your vehicle seat. If we're secure on this side, you'll get a little green button once you are secure. So this side we're not in yet. There we go. So then you're just going to push your base into the back of your vehicle seat to ratchet the base closer to the vehicle seat and ensure that you're getting a nice and secure install. So again, we've got our base flush with the back of our seat. I mean, we're rigid latch installed, so you're not really going to be getting any movement here. And then we're going to, as a final stage, adjust our load leg. So you want to have it nice and flush with the vehicle, with the base of the vehicle. And you also want to make sure that it's not causing your base to like rise up at all. You'll get a green button on your load leg once you do have that proper install. So in addition to that rigid latch install, you can see here on the base that you can also do an install using your vehicle seatbelt instead. So in order to do that install, you would just open up this latch panel. You would feed your belt path through here. Per the other seats, you have really nice instructions and indicators on the base to help you do that install. But with our rigid latches, that was quick and dirty. So we're ready to go with our little one in the Cybex Cloud G Lux infant car seat. To close out our demos, let us do one of my favorite parts. Let's showcase each of these infant car seats as a travel system using the very popular Cybex Gazelle Stroller. So all of these fit on the Cybex Gazelle with the adapters that conveniently come with the Gazelle. So let's take a look. First, we've got the Cybex Aton G infant car seat on our Cybex Gazelle Stroller. Next up, we've got our Cybex Aton G SWIVEL infant car seat on the Gazelle Stroller. Now, let's take a look at the Cybex Cloud G Lux on the Cybex Gazelle Stroller. This is with the Cloud G Lux set up in standard mode. And now let's take a look at how it looks when we've extended that lounge position to give your babe 45% extra space in their torso and legs. All right, so let's talk about Cybex SensorSafe technology, because this is such an innovative technology that they have built into their seats. It's available in all three of the models of seats that we're reviewing today. And a lot of times we talk to it, but you know, it's helpful to see. And you know, I love to be thorough. So let's chat a bit about SensorSafe technology. So that technology is built into the harness clip right here. So this chest clip has that SensorSafe technology. It's connected to your phone via Bluetooth. So I've actually got my phone here and I've got my Cybex app opened. I have my device already set up. It is giving me a notification on a few different levels. So your first notification is if that chest clip is undone, you'll get a notification. If your car seat has become too hot or too cold for your little one, you'll get a notification to your phone. If your child, if you have left the vehicle, so if your phone senses it's with you, you've left the vehicle, but the harness clip is still done up, indicating that there's a child left in the vehicle, you will get a notification to your phone, and you can actually set up a family alert system. So after certain intervals of time, different family members like your spouse or another caregiver are alerted to the fact that the child may have been left in the vehicle. Obviously, from an anxiety and stress standpoint, these alerts are incredible to really help, you know, enhance the safety of your child in their vehicle seat, because that's what we want at the end of the day. As parents, you've got a lot of things going on, and these are just helpful indicators so that you remember, you're on a long road trip. Yes, we probably, we might be sailing, but we probably need to let baby out of the seat and move around for a little bit. Or, even with the seat being too hot and too cold in the summer, sometimes you get the sun beaming in those back windows. So definitely something that really helps to just, again, provide that extra peace of mind with your little one. The app is super easy to set up. It has so many great features and notifications, as I mentioned, very secure, easy to connect with different family members. So really love that SensorSafe technology and encourage you to check it out for yourself. Last but not least, it is important to also mention that, often families have more than one child. As you graduate to a next level seat, maybe you're getting the Cybex Sirona convertible car seat as an example, or you're graduating to another Cybex seat. You can set up multiple children within your Cybex account and have all of those different devices connected. You can also identify, you can have it connected to different phones and different vehicles. So definitely Cybex has been very intuitive with how they're working with families to ensure that this technology really supports parents. So there you have it, our 3 Cybex infant car seats. I'm very curious to hear in the comments which seat you're leaning towards or which seat you have. If you're still, let's round things out. So core similarities and differences between each of these seats. So with all 3 of these seats, that weight capacity is 4 to 35 pounds. Again, with the Aton 2, your upper height limit is 30 inches. With the Aton G Swivel and the Cloud G Lux, you're looking at 32 inches. Now you've got a bucket weight of 9.5 pounds on the Aton 2, 9 pounds on the Aton G Swivel, and 12 pounds on the Cloud G Lux. The Aton G Swivel is obviously a seat that can swivel. So that is the only Cybex infant car seat that can swivel. With the Cloud G Lux, your difference is that this is the only seat that can lounge. It has that lounge extension feature for that extra torso and leg support. On the Aton G Swivel and the Cloud G Lux, you're getting that anti-rebound panel, which is built into the base, which you don't have on the Aton 2. That being said, on the Aton 2, you can see at the edge of our frame here, and on the Cloud G Lux, you do have a load leg. So that is really great for reducing rotational forces in the event of a collision and keeping that seat more stabilized. From a canopy standpoint, our Aton 2 has 2 different canopy options. We're gonna link the XXL canopy, which is throughout this video, which is actually larger than what you're seeing here. It's more like these canopies because a bigger canopy is always better. But you do have the option of getting the shorter canopy if you so desire. The other 2 you can see have full coverage XXL canopies. Now, all 3 of these seats have SensorSafe technology built into that harness clip. And from a harness standpoint, while we're chatting about that, the Aton 2 has a rethread harness, whereas the Aton G Swivel and the Cloud G Lux have a no rethread harness. Last but definitely not least, when we get into install methods, each of these seats can be installed using your vehicle seat belt, the European belt path, which is when you install the seat without the bucket or without the base, or they can also be installed using latches. The Aton 2 and the Aton G Swivel use soft latch technology, whereas the Cloud G Lux uses a rigid latch technology, which is a slightly more secure method just because it's steel on steel of connecting to your vehicle. So that is the core similarities and differences of your Cybex infant car seats. All of these seats fit so well as a travel system on your Cybex strollers. So the Gazelle, the E-Gazelle, the Priam, even your Labelle, your Koya, so many different options, so many great seats and strollers in the Cybex lineup. So definitely check those out. We have so many Cybex product reviews on our YouTube channel, so just search away, you'll find them. Thank you so much for joining me today at Bugz. Our goal is to instill confidence in families navigating the early stages of parenthood. And a big way that we do that is through car seat and stroller education. I hope that this video was super valuable for you in learning the differences between Cybex infant car seats so that you can pick the perfect Cybex seat for your growing family. Thank you so much for joining me today, and we'll catch you on the next one.